Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. So today I am just going to show you how I craft. I'm going to make a mini album from scratch, from beginning to end, well, from what I did in prep until end. This is going to be my final project with the, it may not be my final project, I'm not lying to you, because I think I'm going to make some Halloween cards. This is going to be my mini album with this paper collection, the Matilda and Godfrey from Photoplay. This is my design team paper collection from Country Craft Creations. I have a little cheat sheet here. So a lot of you ask me when I make my mini albums, do I design it beforehand, do I lay it out, or do I just go for it? The question's yes, yes, and yes. So sometimes I go for it, sometimes I lay it out. Like if I'm bored, at work we have a lot of downtime for some reason. You know, I'll lay it out, or sometimes I just go for it. So this one I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. All I've done is I made my hinge, which there are several. I did the hidden hinge 5-page by Tammy. Tammy did a live video on that, so it's on Country Craft Creations. I did a super slow tutorial on it. It is video 6 of my 7x7 book. I will link that in the description box so that way you can see it. I did a very slow tutorial on how to make pocket pages. So did Tammy. There's a million out there. So basically all I did was take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. On the 8.5 side, I cut it at 5.5. That's all I did. So you're left with a little piece off like that. And then I just scored it at 5.5 because it was 5.5 by 11. And then that just made the pocket page. So for me, I wanted a top open. So I just put 1/8 of an inch of what's the real name? Red line tape on the bottom to seal my page, and then I connected it to the hinge. Okay. I do have a tutorial on how to make pocket pages. So does Tammy. They're very simple. Whatever size book you want, you know, you can make it into a square, rectangle, whatever. You just have to match it. So I just noticed that my pages are off by a little bit, but can't do anything about it now. It's just the one. I don't know what I did. Does it matter? No, because it's your book, your design. I don't know. The fronts of these two pages are just their own wonky. So the linen paper gives you a little tiny bit more leeway than regular cardstock. This is the artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. Yeah. So we're just going to make that the bottom of my book because, oh no, I'm not, because of my openings. Oh well, it's a little bit off. I don't care. So now I'm just going to get into flips and pockets and flats and whatnot. I have no rhyme or reason what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. So I have these extra pieces. I have full pieces. So let's go for it. So I think on my first page I want a pocket. So I'm going to cut this at I'm going to cut it at 6.5. 6.5. Why? Because I like the 1/2 inch on each side of my pocket. So I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch on all 3 sides. Yeah, 1/2 inch, not a 1/4 inch. So this is whatever was left over. So this would be the let's see. This is the 3 inches by 6.5. So essentially when you fold all the sides, it should fit nicely on your page, which mine does. I need good scissors. So I'm just going to miter my corners and just kind of fold it up and make sure that I did my math. You just have to add an inch to the side, to the length, so that way it's the same length when you're done with your making your flaps, if that makes sense. Yep, that's all I want to do for that first one. So I'm going to go ahead and move this and square tape this down. And no, I'm not going to lay it out first and think it through. I'm just going for it. Why? Because I can. Hey, what are you trying? Okay, so let's just get that. You can use your art glitter glue if you want on the pockets. If you're running low on score tape, it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't use anything. I wouldn't use any. Well, okay, I can't say that because I don't know all the liquid glues. But for me, art glitter glue is like the score tape of glues. So you can use that here or score tape. I'm just going to use score tape. I might switch back and forth. I don't know. Again, I have no plans for this book. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay my pocket down. And I'm going to go right up to the score line, but not on it. Making sure the opening is facing me. And just get it on as straight as you can. So for some people it's easier to do this before they put it on the hinge, but for me I like to put the paper on the hinge. I put the pockets on the hinge and then do this part. I don't know where my phone folder went, so I gotta get something in here to make sure that I adhere it down. Okay. So I could have did a funky design on here. If you want to add a punch border, I mean, just blow it in there. Don't even worry about it. Okay, page 2. What do I want? Scraps. I think I want this one. I think I want flaps. So what I'm going to do is take a sheet of paper. And you have to craft messy. Like, you have to have everything in your way, or it's just not going to work. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so my page are 5.5 by 5.5. I want my flaps to be slightly smaller, so I'm going to do 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to do it 5 3/8 by 6. Because this is going to be this way. But I need to make sure I leave enough to add that. You know what? Let's not play the guessing game. Let's add our 1/2 inch score mark right here. Let's not guess, because we need that to flop down. And where's my pencil? About here. Let's see if my math was right. Yeah, it was. So 5 3/8 by 6, and then score a 1/2 inch. Or if you don't want to do math and worry about those 3/8, then do like I did. Put your 1/2 inch in there first, and then cut it at 6. How about that? Ooh, that was almost a mistake. I have my score line over here, so I'm going to cut my score line off, which would have been fine because I have plenty of paper. Okay, so page 2 and 3, I think I want to have it flap up and then flap down. Yeah. This one I didn't cut. I cut the length, but I didn't cut the width. So I need to take off a little bit. It was a little bit too big. Okay. I think I am going to ticket stub this entire book because I love the ticket stub. If I can find it. Here we go. So your flaps, you can always corner chomp them now, or you can do it later. I'm just going to go ahead and do mine now. I may do some stubs, some, you know, I don't know. You can miter these corners if you want. I can't remember what I do, so we'll find out in just a second. I mean, because crafting, it's, you know, even though you follow the same procedure over and over and over, you know, you do stuff differently every single time. If you guys look back at my videos and you're like, well, wait, you did it this way this time. You know, it is going to be different. So this flap goes all the way to the bottom of the page. I don't know if I like that or if I want to take off a sliver. No, I don't. I want it to go all the way to the bottom of the page. Okay. So I'm just pushing in that overhang because I'm not precise. Making sure this is the top where I can stick my hand in. And again, if you mess up what you were planning on doing, who cares? Because nobody knew what your plan was. So it's not a mess up. It's just a plan B. Okay, I want a tiny 1/16 of an inch border around my flap. Or do I? Sorry, I'm just auditioning it to see what I want. Yep, down. Okay. Make sure you varnish that in. So this next one, I want it to be on the bottom, I think I said. Let's see. We're just going to add this flap to the bottom. And again, certain ones, it is easier to design before you put it on the hinge. Just depends on my mood. Come on. And you can, I mean, you see I just folded my book completely back. So you can manipulate this paper. That's what I love about the linen paper. You can manipulate it and don't have to worry about the cracks. Because see, I just folded it back on that hinge. And it'll be fine. Okay. So I have a pocket. I have a flap down, a flap up, like so. This one, I think I want... let's see what we have. I think I want a pocket here, so I need to make this 6.5 long. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at 6.5. And I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides, 2 short sides, and 1 long side. That's my pocket. Okay, and my scissors. You can add your score tape before you chomp those corners if you want to prevent overhang. I don't mind. So construction part of it, I'm super strong at. Matting, I still need a little bit of practice, right? Practice makes perfect. My style is super clean, clean and simple. That means I don't put a lot of embellishments per page. I like the paper to talk for itself, but some people like extra elements where the elements or the embellishments are the focal point instead of your pictures. So those are beautiful too. It's just your preference. Not that I've ever actually stuck pictures in anything I've made, right? Okay, so I have. I did it one, I made a couple, I think 2 or 3 that actually have pictures in them. So here's my pocket there. This page I don't want to pocket. I think I want to flap to the right. So let's make that happen. So I need something by 6.5. I know that. No. Okay. So by 6, because I need my flap to go. Okay, let me make a 1/2 inch square mark on here. Okay, so that's that way. So this way I need to make this at a little less than 5.5. Right? Yeah. So this is a smidge bit less than 5.5 by 6. So I can, because I did that 1/2 inch square line. I'm going to chop my corners. Oh, that's the piece I was looking for. Or that other thing. Let me just make sure my measurements were right when I put this on here. Is it going to be too long? It's slightly too long, so I'm going to go ahead and chop off some of this flap here. Just a tiny bit, like a sliver. Or however much you want to chop off. Yeah, that's what I like right there. Okay, so we are on our way, right? Okay, so let's get this in here. So we're gonna switch to Christmas after this. I'm so done with Halloween. I've done so many Halloween projects that I'm done with Halloween. I know I've done Christmas, but Christmas is my favorite, so I'll do a ton of Christmas all day long. Okay, so this flap I didn't center it very well, so probably what I'll end up doing is adding a piece of paper on the bottom so you can't tell that I didn't center it. Well, I mean, or you can take the painstaking time and try to lift it without ripping. Oh wait. This is how you know you didn't adhere it properly, when it can just peel right up like this. That means I didn't burnish, because you shouldn't be able to pull your score tape up like that. Okay? But in this case, it worked out for me. Because now I can put my flap on exactly in the center like I wanted it. Okay. There we go. So now this page has a pocket and it flaps out that way. I'm going to go ahead and corner chomp this with the stub. And this is going to give some really great pictures, like room for a lot of pictures. I don't know how many yet, but the pockets always add, right? So next I'm going to use this, and I'm going to do a, what am I going to do? I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do a Do I want a mini flap? Do I want to cut the page in half? Yep. So I'm just using this piece that we had left over from when we just made the previous flap. And yeah, I'll tell you the measurements of this one in a second. I'll try to go through this video and make the measurements. I'll try to write them. There's no promises because that takes forever to do. And yeah. This video really is just for you to be inspired to make your own. Like, just jump in on it. So, this is, let's see. Let me make sure. So this page here is like 5 3/8 by 3 3 1/8. What the measurement here is. And what I'm going to do is just put this right in the center of the page so you'll see whatever fun design I pick on the top and the bottom, and then you'll have this across the middle. Okay. So you can get your Tim Holtz ruler out and measure exactly in the middle. I'm not going to do that. Okay. There's that. Okay, so I think I may want to do that on this other side as well, so you have the two flaps that come open. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it to 6, put that 1/2 inch score line in there, and then I will cut it to where I like it. Actually, this may have worked out. Nope. I need a little smidgen off. I like this Stampin' Up! Trimmer because if you need a smidgen, like if you need 1/8 of an inch or a 16th of an inch, there's little markings on the track bar that will give you that, so you don't have to think about it. The only bad thing about that is when you're trying to do tutorials and give people measurements, you have no idea because, you know, a smidge bit, that's a measurement. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure my flaps match. And again, you can line it up with the ruler, and then you're guaranteed they match, but yeah. So that's what I want for that. Oh, I think I know. I'm going to put a journaling card on that. I don't want anything else on that page. This page I want what? What do I want? I just ruined a whole big piece of score tape because I set it on top of a piece of paper. Oh well. Okay. So I want this to be what? Let's see, what do I have already? I have pockets, I have flaps. That one goes that way, that one goes that way. Let's do, how much paper do I have left? 2 sheets. Let's do a flap, and I like the way this looks, so it's not a full flap. It has like a 1/4 of an inch on the top and the bottom. Let's see. You know what? Let's make this a 1/2 page. That's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is add my 1/2 inch score line to whatever size paper this is. This is 5 inches. Well, I guess I should have known that math, right? There's a 1/4 inch on above and bottom. It should be 5 inches. What I said I was going to do? Oh, a half page. And all a half page is just that. It's a smaller little flap in the middle of the page. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I want to do a half page. Yes, I am. I'm going to stick with what I went with first. So I'm going to cut this at, let's cut this at, I'm going to cut it at 4 because I want to see what that looks like. You can always add to your page if you cut it too short, add a border. Like a border punch to it. Yeah, I like this by 4. Okay, so this page measures 4.5 by 5. Like that. Okay, so I was horrible with that score tape. I didn't even cover the whole thing. Okay, I need to put a little piece on there because I didn't cover this top part here. Okay. So, okay. I'm gonna chomp it, stub it, and I'm gonna put that. This is the wonky page where it's a little bit longer, but what else? This little stubby page you won't notice. And just make sure it's about 1/4 inch from the top and bottom. This is where you want to put your glow stick, probably. I live dangerously. Okay, there's that. So that's my half a page, and then you know what? Why don't we just leave this? Do I want to leave this one blank? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do right now. Let's see. I have 2 sheets left. You know what I want to do? I want to have another waterfall. So I'm going to cut this at, so when you have it all laid out, it does make it better on paper. Oops, sorry. You don't waste as much paper. But this paper, guys, use it. You know, we hoard it, so it's time to use it. So I need to put my 1/2 inch score mark in this one, so I know where I'm going with it. And I want mine to be like kind of like a waterfall, like a horizontal waterfall, I think is where I'm going with this. Do I want that 1/4 inch or do I want it to be right on top? Nope, I want that 1/2 inch right there. Yeah, I do. I want that 1/2 inch. Okay, so you stay there, and I need you to come all the way down to here. Okay. So I will tell you this measurement in a second. Oops, wrong one. I hate when I do that because it just makes it difficult. Okay, so let me make sure I did that right. Well, even if I didn't, that's what it's going to be. So this one is 5 by 5.5. A little less than 5.5. So I just stubbed it, and let's score tape it. So I'll probably do the matting in a whole different video, because we're already at 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and put this in here. Okay, that's what I like. Yeah, so it has a flap there, then the flap, and then the big one. And then I want, what on this page? You know what, I think I just want a big scene on that page, so I'm going to leave that page alone. And then on the very back page, what do we want? What do we got left? Let's see here. I gotta clean it up a little bit. I just have like a pencil holder in one of those carts that everyone got from Michael's or Sam's Club or IKEA. And that holds my pens, pencils, glitter glue, shimmer mist, and that kind of stuff on top. Okay, so last page. We want, look at all these little pieces here. What do I have? Let's see. Okay, I like that. Let me see if that works before I tell y'all what I'm gonna do. Let's see if this works. I hope so. I don't think the paper's thick enough, but I will check. No, it's too thin. You can make a tiny little waterfall like this, but I don't want that. But I do want, let's see. I'm going to cut this. Okay, I gotta think before I cut this. Let's do, because a page is 5.5 by 5.5. Let's do 5 1/4. So that goes this way. Let me mark my 1/2 inch score line. Okay, so I need it to go about, I need it to be at least 2.5. So 3 maybe? 3? Yeah, so I'm gonna go by 3. And then do the same thing here, put my 1/2 inch score line so I know I've already taken into account that extra piece that I want. So I want that, and then I want it to come down. Let me see. I want this one to be, I want it to be kind of wonky, I think. Yeah. So I can still do it by 5 and it will be wonky. So I just need to cut this by 3. Okay. So keep my piece folded so I know I don't have to do the math to add that extra 1/2 inch because it's already there. I already folded it. So I want this to be up top like so, and this one to be down bottom because I don't want them to match. I want them to be off. Kind of like a blocking. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay. So with this, I would probably mat first so I could have the border of whatever I'm going to put on, because these are going to be like doors that are a little bit off from each other like this. And so I may want the paper to peek out. This is another reason why sometimes I don't like to glue down my flaps. You know what, I'm going for it. Because if you want to mat, if you want to leave a little bit of the border of the paper showing, obviously once you've taped it down, that's it. So that's another reason why you would lay it out, or like you can do this method that I just did, and instead of taping it down, just write, you know, put a paper clip on it and say this is page 5 or whatever you want. I'm not too bothered by, if I want a border peeping out, I would just fix it in there somehow. Or just don't have a border. Okay. Okay. There's that. Alright, so I'm going to move this out of my way. And now I think I wanted this on the top and then the bottom. So top, and then this piece all the way to the bottom. Actually, I'm just going to flip it over. That'll be way easier than me trying to. So I'm just putting it here. I'm making sure I don't get to that. Right, I get up to swirling but not covering it. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, so there's that. It is done. You can go back through and add flips and flaps if you want to. You don't have to, because I mean it's pretty full with what we have now. This was super quick, 37 minutes. Probably quicker if I wasn't chatting. But yeah, and then I only have like this, I have these little pieces left over that I can use to mat. Why is that white? Okay, whatever. I can use to mat, or I can use as tags, or whatever you want. So I'm going to come back with the next video, and it'll be all about matting. And probably the binding. Okay guys, bye.